What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. You guys can probably already tell it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely gonna want to check this one out. So we now have the Democratic California gubernatorial candidate Katie Porter absolutely ruining all chance that she had to be in the replacement for Gavin Newsom as that California governor after a leaked clip surfaced of her absolutely attacking and berating her staffers in this one, and I'm excited to get into it. So we're not straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
Candidate Katie Porter is facing criticism from all sides after attempting to walk out of a recent interview. The former Orange County Congresswoman took exception to a reporter's question about appealing to voters who also voted for President Trump. KTVU political reporter Greg Lee breaks it all down and has reaction from some of the other candidates.
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Leading candidate for California Governor Katie Porter going viral for this exchange with CBS News California reporter Julie Watts, the former congresswoman threatening to walk out of the interview that began with a question over Prop 50 and Republican voters.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, ma'am?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote.
The interview eventually continued, but the damage was done. The crowded field of gubernatorial candidates jumping on the flub in bipartisan fashion.
You can't be afraid to answer basic questions, and that was a question that was posed to all of us.
They can't withstand the most basic questions. They totally crumble. That's why I'm running for governor. We've got to change all this. We've got to get rid of this one-party rule.
Fellow Democrat Betty Yee now calling for Porter to drop out of the race. Javier Becerra said, "I'm not interested in excluding any vote." Republican candidate Sheriff Chad Bianco wrote on X, "Throw a tantrum on TV because you do not like the question. Katie Porter is just another unhinged Democrat who would complete Gavin Newsom's destruction of our beautiful state." The viral moment drawing attention to a race that had fallen under the radar.
All right, folks. So you may be sitting at home wondering to yourself right now, like, who is Katie Porter? I want to give you guys a little background on who she is and what she stands for. So I'm going to read her down and then play a clip that kind of dives into who she is and what she truly believes. It says Katie Porter just announced her bid for California governor for 2026 earlier last year, and Katie Porter is a former congresswoman and a whiteboard wielding challenger of corporate execs. She'd officially launched her campaign for governor of California last year in 2024 for 2026. We know that race isn't actually until, or the election day is until November of next year. This is a 51-year-old Democrat from Orange County who is currently the biggest name in the race. But her chances could hinge on whether or not Kamala decides to run. We all know now that Kamala decided that she is not going to run. So this is the Democratic front runner, this absolute unhinged lunatic that they're putting up as the replacement for Governor Gavin Newsom. It says Porter, who dropped out of last year's race or last year's Senate race, plans to drop out of the governor race if Harris enters. And I don't think that Kamala Harris is going to hop in this one. With Governor Gavin Newsom's term limited, the contest is heating up with several familiar political figures eyeing this position. Here's Katie Porter right here. But I'll let her explain for herself who exactly she is and what she stands for. Let's just jump into that.
Californians hear a lot of excuses from elected officials.
That's a complex problem. That's proving challenging.
That's not my job.
It's too hard.
What a bunch of bullshit. What we need is new ideas, a willingness to take on dangerous leaders and their corrupt enablers, the courage to lead in this moment. It's going to take all of that to solve the challenges that we face right now: a rapidly changing economy, a dangerously changing climate, costs that are out of control, housing and healthcare out of reach for millions, and fundamental rights that are in jeopardy. What California needs now is a little bit of hope and a whole lot of grit. Fresh blood and new ideas, and leaders with the backbone to fight for what's right. That's why I'm running for governor.
So that was that former Congresswoman Katie Porter with her reasoning, a very cliche reasoning at that, for why she believes that she should be the governor of California, stating that she's going to fight for what is right. But I'm going to go ahead and burst her bubble and show you guys that she's fighting for quite the opposite, fight for everything that is wrong. Just take a look at this flashback clip.
This allegation of groomer and pedophile, it is alleging that a person is criminal somehow and engaged in criminal acts merely because of their identity, their sexual orientation, their gender identity.
Excuse me? Okay, so that was a 2022 clip of the California governor candidate, Katie Porter, calling pedophilia an identity, and it's now going viral. In addition to all the other deranged clips of her, I gotta show you another one where she seems to dress up as a DC character, Batgirl, in this costume, walking through Congress halls, just looking like a hot mess. I just show you these loonies on the left. I mean, this stuff writes itself.
Congresswoman Porter, does Alfred get minimum wage? If you return the Batmobile, could you pay for the Green New Deal?
Oh my goodness, and that right there is another valid reason to bring back the crazy homes. There's too many nut jobs out here, and that costume alone tells me everything I need to know about this lady Katie Porter. She is not fit to serve as governor of California. I thought Gavin Newsom was bad, but oh my goodness, she puts a whole new meaning to bad. And there's more. There's tons more clips of this lady absolutely acting out of character. A couple we're gonna touch on, but I just kept finding clip after clip. I couldn't fit them all in here. This is truly a bad person posing as some, decent human being, but it just shows every single time that she's on camera. Here's another leaked video of that Democratic California governor candidate, Katie Porter, yelling at a staffer to get out of her shot after she attempts to, inform her on some knowledge that she was incorrect on. Just listen to the way that she responds. It's absolutely disgusting.
You ready for stat number 2?
I am.
All right. $632, which is how much you save in fuel and maintenance costs when you replace your traditional car with an EV, with an electric vehicle. So I lease a Chevy Bolt. It is the best car that I have ever owned. I just plug it into the garage, 3-hole prong plug, and I never have to go to the gas station.
That's awesome. And $632 is real money. And I know here at UCI, we have a National Fuel Center Research Center, and they're also doing work on how to make electric vehicles affordable, including for low and moderate income people, working moms, single moms like me, people who really could benefit from an extra $632 in their pocket. And it's also not just the individual savings, but it's also the total savings for our economy. So I'm on the oversight committee, you might know, and that is where we did a study recently this fall in September. And what it showed is if we don't electrify our transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems. And the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't make the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay, I'm going to start again with electric vehicles saving us money.
Perfect.
Okay.
And that type of entitlement, that bratty behavior that we're seeing, it only gets worse when the cameras go off. You would have thought this lady didn't think she was on live television when she was recording this interview. The way that she just reacted, it just shows who they are and who these folks actually are on the left. And it gets even worse. We have her absolutely shooting death stares over to her production staff during a Zoom meeting after they kind of messed up her lighting. She is not understanding whatsoever. Just take a look at the way she flips out.
Oh yes, this is why I didn't want to do. I need the lights off, the bright lights. I'm so sorry, but I am about to get on. Bernard, I need you to turn these off. These that are killing me. Hang on one second, everybody.
No, we should put the computer up on it.
Yes, we should have. Yes. Okay, everybody, I'm not that dark.
It's too dark.
Just a minute. Okay, everybody, I'm sorry about that. I am in a TV studio getting ready to go on Cuomo. And so I had all those studio lights on me and I couldn't see myself or see you guys.
And if looks could kill, I would definitely be even more worried for her staff. I mean, just a look at that death stare coming from Katie Porter. You could tell that she is just used to having everything her way. No one's ever told her no, and there's never been a technical difficulty that was her fault or just a minor misunderstanding. This behavior right here is totally unacceptable from Katie Hobbs. I mean, just think about it. If she can't handle a simple question when someone asks her how is she going to get voters who are in support of President Donald Trump, a question that was asked to all the other gubernatorial candidates, how is she going to run an entire state? How is she going to be facing, when you're faced with adversity, a regular question is so-called adversity. You're not capable of handling a task of that magnitude. Being the governor of California, you're going to run into tons of mishaps. And if that's how you're going to deal with a question that you don't like, we can see that you're not fit for the job. But oh wait, it gets worse. I actually found a leaked text thread of her blaming her staff member for giving her COVID and actually fires this lady. All right, folks, and I blew this up as large as possible so folks in the back or those that are having trouble seeing are able to read along. This is the text thread from the personal number of Katie Porter, and we'll see her inside of the gray messages in this text thread, and then her staffer Sasha will be in the blue. So Katie Porter heads this one off saying, Sasha, I cannot allow you back in the office. Given your failure to follow office policies, Cody will be in touch about having your personal effects shipped or delivered to your home and will lay out your remote work schedule and responsibilities for your last few weeks. So basically saying good riddance. You cannot come back to my office. You are fired as of now. Sasha responds saying, I understand. Thank you for the last 2 years and all that I have learned. I hate to have disappointed you in this manner. And as you know, or as I know, it isn't an excuse. I had found out that my friend from the Navy had been murdered and my head was not in the best place. Not an excuse, but the reasoning for the lack of forethought. I appreciate everything this office has done for me. So she is very thankful, even though she's being fired in a very abrupt manner. She says, thank you for everything you've done for me, and I really do appreciate these last 2 years. Well, it seems that Katie did not take a liking to that, and she then responds saying, well, you gave me COVID. In 25 months, it took you not following the rules to get me sick. My children have nobody to care for them. Oh my boo-hoo. We all were getting it back then. That just goes to show you how, she's just not a decent human being. I mean, just be understanding for a second. Anything that inconveniences her, she has a fit. This is the Karen of the left. This just really shows you who these folks are behind closed doors, though. It takes for clips like these, text message threads to be released for us to start seeing that this is who these folks are voting for. These loonies on the left truly don't have, that same type of moral compass or ethics that they live by. They just will shame and crap on anyone that they feel like is beneath them. And that's not how you live. I know a lot of you folks are sitting at home wondering to yourself, like, how did she get away with this for so long? It went unnoticed, unchecked for years in such a technological day and age where we send and receive messages at light speed. How has she been getting away with this? Well, we got a staffer coming out speaking on how she was able to just take advantage of everyone that was on her staff. I want you guys to take a look at this.
Sasha Georgiadis, a former Katie Porter staffer, is telling the New York Post this, saying it was easier for her to do these things to the quieter ones, the more soft-spoken ones who wouldn't be like, hey, that's not okay, going after people you think aren't going to fight back. I think it speaks a lot about a person's nature when they do that, especially in an arena like politics, which you're here to serve people. If anything went wrong, she would flip on a dime. She's talking to me while the other girl in the room is telling me, I don't even know why she's here. I can do better than this, better than her. And this is like very inappropriate. The girl's in the room with us. It's dehumanizing and it's demoralizing. It makes you question, Why am I even doing this?
So there's our answer. Katie Porter was going after those in her office and on her staff that she believed were beneath her, as we all expected. I'm ashamed to have seen that she was ever serving as a congresswoman because she does not deserve it. We also have Republican challenger for that governor spot, the replacement for Gavin Newsom, chiming in. This is Steve Hilton on Katie Porter in these latest surfaced lead clips.
So I've been out today. Everyone's going on about Katie Porter, obviously. But in a way, it's unfair to pile on her. She's not unusual. They're all like this, these California Democrats. They're all the same. Arrogant, entitled, this ruling elite. 15 years of one-party rule. And they think they should never be held accountable for all their failures. How dare you ask me questions? They're going to rule forever. They have no interest in the lives of the people they're supposed to represent or the actual results of their policies. It is so disgusting. And she just ripped the mask off. And they're all the same. And that's why we're going to have change in California. We are sick of it. We are sick of these people, their failure and their arrogance. That's why I'm going to be in the top 2 next year. I can see people, Democrats, independents, getting behind my campaign. That's why we're going to win next year. We are going to kick these people out and have change in California.
That was Steve Hilton, his explanation for this, saying, hey, they're all the same. They're one and the same when it comes to these loonies on the left. You think Katie Porter is bad, just wait until you see the next one up. They're all doing it behind the scenes, and that's why we need a Republican over there in the state of California before it gets too far out of hand. We've already seen what that state has become underneath the leadership of Gavin Newsom. We don't want to see another failed Democrat in that spot. We also had Glenn Beck, the great Glenn Beck, weighing in. I want to check out what he had to say as well.
Didn't go well.
Wow.
Didn't go well. According to people who had worked in her office, she has made multiple staffers cry. People are generally so anxious to even staff her because if anything goes wrong, she flips out on whatever staffer is present. She just talks to staffers however she wants. One criticism of Porter has been that she allegedly is a terrible person, according to some accounts, abusive and racist. In December, text messages surfaced in which Porter scolded a staffer for giving the Congresswoman COVID. One message said she was rage-prone and had a tendency to disparage staffers. Others suggested her expectations were wildly unrealistic. One message accused her of making racist comments. Those are from her staffer. And remember, those are from 2022. I mean, we've seen this, and they just buried all of that. And now you're starting to see it. You know, when you force people into uncomfortable situations, you generally see who they really are. And that wasn't really that was a normal situation for anybody who's right. You can't handle that, sweetheart. You can't handle anything. But imagine you're in California. She was the front runner yesterday.
That was Glenn Beck with a very great point, especially there at the end where he says, just think about it. If you were a California voter, just a couple days ago, this lady may have been high up on your list. She was just the front runner yesterday. Now seeing all these clips and leaks, it puts a nasty taste in your mouth. You're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is someone that I was so close to supporting and voting for. And speaking on the nasty clips or run-intos with Katie Porter, I had to do a little digging. I found a couple of headlines that I want to read to you guys so you can see what type of person we're truly dealing with right here. And this is a headline from New York Post of Katie Porter verbally abusing her then husband in an explicit tirade, going on saying he's an idiot and too dumb to operate a phone. And this is all coming from court documents. This fight sure got heated. California gubernatorial contender Katie Porter once dumped scolding hot mashed potatoes on her then husband's head during a fight. This all resurfaced during divorce documents. As you know, we are seeing all these clips of her. This is absolutely crazy behavior that we're seeing from her. You could just, I mean, and it's hard not to believe it because of the clips that we've seen. This is something that was definitely within her realm of her reach. It then goes on to say that the former Golden State Congresswoman's ex-hubby, Matthew Hoffman, filed for divorce back in 2013. You know, hats off to that guy. He definitely deserved it. And he detailed that the Democrat, who has a reputation for exploding at her staff, frequently abused him verbally and threw toys and books and other objects at him during their marriage. And I believe it all. I mean, you don't have to show me more than twice what she's done for me to start believing this may just be who she is. I found another one here. This is Fox News from back in 2022. So this thing has been going on for a long time, all the way back in 2013. If you really think about it, he filed for divorce almost 12 years ago. So she's definitely been doing this for a long, probably her entire life, to be honest. This one reads, though, Representative Katie Porter used racist language, ridiculed people for reporting sexual harassment. This is all coming from ex-staffers as well. So she is sweeping things underneath the rug, and she's also prejudiced. Got it. Found another one. This is a headline from Yahoo back in 2023. So like I said, this is, it's got a long stint of being a very cruddy human being. And this one reads, in it for herself. Former Katie Porter staffer says California Democrat senator or Senate run motivated by fame and power. This is back where she was on that run and she ended up dropping out for Senate. And her staffers are claiming that this was all motivated by fame and power. We could tell where her heart truly lies. She does not care about her constituents. She does not care about her staff and none of that. If you are not going to, be a stepping stone for her, getting to the heights that she wants to reach, she's going to crap on you. That's how I take this. And of course, this, whole situation, the story coming out on Katie Porter has the internet in a complete frenzy. I want to check in on what folks on X are saying. First up, we've got the sheriff, Chad Bianco, and this is a sheriff, 14th sheriff of Riverside County. He's a Republican candidate for California governor as well, coming out and speaking on it, saying Gavin Newsom isn't going to be the president. Katie Porter won't be our governor, and the California dream is coming back. Very refreshing to see, a little beacon of hope for the folks of the state of California. Hopefully you guys don't get stuck with Katie Porter, anything but Katie Porter, or that Zoran Mamdani that I've been seeing over in NYC. That guy's a train wreck as well. And then last up on the list, but certainly not least, we have Ian Yeager here saying that if Katie Porter becomes governor of California, the state has truly fallen. This lady right here does not deserve it. This would be a DEI hire at best. I can't see it happening, but again, these folks never fail. They never fail to surprise me. I mean, just think about all the terrible individuals that we've seen being voted elected in. Even despite the past, their track record, we still see them somehow getting enough votes. So I'm going to cross my fingers on this one. Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness. Talk about a train wreck disaster. That Katie Porter, that gubernatorial candidate for the state of California, shows herself to be. I just don't believe that she has rose to such heights by being such a lousy and terrible human being. It really just amazes me that people get so far on just being nasty and hateful towards others. These are not the type of people that we should continue to uplift. We need to shine light on this, shine light and bring it to, the surface so folks can see, so that we can move past these individuals, call them exactly how they are. She is a mean-spirited and hateful individual. She does not deserve to be definitely not the governor of California, but she didn't deserve to be a congresswoman either. I'm excited to see where this one goes. Like I said, this race, this election day isn't until November of 2026. So we got all the way till next year for folks to surprise me. But I'm excited to see, one, there's way more stuff. If this is what we're getting so far, and it's just been a couple of weeks of her being exposed, there's definitely going to be more clips that come out. And then two, I'm excited to see what the folks of the great state of California end up deciding on. Hopefully they pick someone that's more reasonable challenger like Steve Hilton or the sheriff that we covered. But if Katie Porter rises back up into the ranks, because she was the leading candidate for the Dems just a couple of days ago, I would be shocked, guys. But definitely hop in that comment section. Comments are open. I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking on this one. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next week.